Good. All right. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? How are we doing today? What's happening? Are you, if you're a Nigerian, probably you're at Owambe or something else. You can just let us know. How are you doing? Good evening, Tolu. How was your day, or how has been your day? How has been your weekend? Mine has been chaotic, but I thank God I'm here now. Good to know, good to know. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Oh, your day has been hectic as well. OMG. Sorry about that. How I wish there's something I can do to make it all go away. Then we'll go to Maldives or Santorini and just chill. Good evening, Jen. Hi, Janet. How are you doing today? How has been your day, your weekend?
Oh, Gloria, good evening.
Good evening.
My
What's up?
weekend has been restful, kinda.
Okay, I think you're the only one
Restful.
enjoying. We are jealous of you right now because myself and Tolu, we've been having crazy days. Like it's been hell
Hmm.
around here.
Hmm.
But
I'm
I'm
sure you could
happy
have
that
called
we
out
are
for
in.
assistance, right?
Right?
Yeah, you could just call in and say, Janet,
Yeah.
please, I need your help. And I'll rush.
Don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So we're starting very soon. Let's just have some people in. Oh yeah, congratulations, Tolu. Tolu registered for my course today, and I'm super excited about it because we've been talking and all, and it's not really about the process, right? When it comes to payment, it's about deciding that this is what I really want to do, and you going ahead to do it. That is the first step to success. That's the first step to success. So many people say they want to do that, they want to do this, and at the end of the day, they don't take action. This year can actually go to an end or come to an end, and no, like people will still not do anything or will not act like they will not act on things they said they were going to act upon, right? So I try to as much as possible, and that is why it seems like whenever you see me around, I'm always like doing one thing or the other, or I'm succeeding at something because I feel very fast. I don't wait to like I don't overthink things, right? I've paid for courses that at the end of the day, I realized that, nah, this is not for me. But then I knew that, oh, once I did it, I knew that that is it. So I'm really proud that you were able to make that decision. And of course, you are going to get clarity. You're going to get the worth of your money, all right? I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, okay? Because my students they've been here and the testimonial has been great. I've not even gotten to like post testimonials yet. All right, so
All right,
then
thank you.
then good hands. Okay. I think I'm liking the way we are very few today, so we can have like an intimate conversation. Hi Musa, how are you doing? How has been your day? How has been your day?
Hi, Gloria. Good evening. My day has been great. Thanks for asking. How about you? Good evening, everyone. Should I say I'm the only guy that has been joining this webinar? Am I the
It
only guy that wants?
happens.
Am I the only guy that wants
It
to
happens.
transition into CS?
Guys are always hiding. They don't really come out like that. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe they just think CS is for ladies. I don't
I
know.
do.
But I'm going to make, what do you think? Let's hear from you.
Yeah, to me, uh, like you said, probably say CS is mostly for ladies because I think ladies has a way of connecting with people more better than guys.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
and the the empathy side of you being a serious person.
Mm,
Ladies has that kind of empathy. You have some kind of empathy ways to get through. If you're talking to a client as a CS, as a guy, you always want to hear more better from lady. You want to concentrate. If like me, like someone like me, don't let me say me. I know if we put a call through to like one company and a CS person pick up, we'll talk better with ladies than talking
mm,
to a guy or a man. The conversation goes like it goes smoothly than you
I think
talking.
I understand what you mean. Yes, yes, to an extent, what you're saying is for real. And the other end is especially around here, if you're a lady calling a guy, or if a customer is calling. I've had a situation where a customer is calling out and he was saying, "Oh, I want to speak to a guy." I was the head of the like customer department then, and he was saying, "I want to speak with a guy. I want to speak with your head." He just
Mm,
assumes since I'm a lady, I'm all. But so we have the ups and the downside, right? But then I've
yeah,
seen amazing customer success professionals who are male. If I my mentor is of course, he's male, and he's very good at his job. Lambert that we brought. But then I can count them on one finger, right? I see what you're saying, but abroad, the ones I know majorly abroad, they are male.
yeah,
Yes, just very few that are making waves that are female, right? But then that
yeah.
means you are in a very good place. Okay, so good to have you here. All
Thank
right,
you.
all right, all right. So let's get started with what we have for today. All right. So good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. How are you doing? I know it's a Saturday and it's Owambe season, so people probably jump in and just go out. So we're going to have today to ourselves, and our speaker is already in the house. So just go as usual. If you have not introduced yourself, kindly do that in the chat. And I'll just fire on from there. Welcome to day 5 of the realities of customer success in Africa. And I hope you've learned one or two things, right? We've been talking and talking and talking about how you can become better as a customer success manager or as someone transitioning into customer success, right? So every note really matters. Whatever, one thing about life is either you learn or you just make it a lesson, right? Like things never to do or things you're going to like do or improve upon. Okay, so today we are diving into a topic that affects almost every customer interaction across board, across continent, across everywhere you go to, right? So we're talking about language and localization. So Africa is home to over 2,000 languages, from Swahili to Yoruba, Hausa, French, Arabic, so many of them I can't even list right now. So if we're being honest, speaking to customers in only English often just doesn't cut it, right? Some people they sometimes prefer to speak to someone that have maybe Yoruba background, and sometimes they will not even hire you if you don't speak certain languages, right? There was a job I was going for. Of course, I was good for it, but then I couldn't speak Spanish, so I was disqualified. And there are so many so many jobs like that. So that's what we are going to be discussing today. All right. So before we go further into the conversation, my name is Gloria Michael, the convener of this program, and been in the space for over 10 years. If I'm minusing and reducting some other things I've done before that, I've written few books and also been able to work cross-border, worked with Kenyan market, Ghana market, Ethiopian for very few months for Ethiopia, and worked with people. Sorry, I was trying to accept somebody in. Okay, and also worked with people across continent like Asia and all Asia and the US and the likes. So that is why we're having this conversation as well, so that we know as a CSM, how do you deal when you have people from different cultures, from different tribes and different that have different ways of life. So today we have our guest speaker in the house. Pascalina is in the house. If you are here, just please drop an emoji before she introduces herself. Can you hear me, Pascalina?
Yes,
Pascaline
Gloria, I
is
can hear
Ghanaian.
you.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Good to have you here.
Yes, I'm glad to be here as well. Hi,
Awesome, awesome.
everyone. I don't know if they can all hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you. I think everybody can hear you. You look
Okay.
good, by the way. Are you still at the office or?
I'm home.
Oh, sorry, we are taking your weekend.
No problem. I'm good.
All right. Would you like to give us a brief background of yourself or just like an intro to what you've done, who you are, and the stage you're currently in?
Okay. Pascalina Inkum, as you were saying, I'm a customer service representative and the head of customer service at Get for Less company. And I think all my roles I've taken in various jobs has been more of customer service, I must say. They are all in line with customer service. So mostly that is what I've been in. And also marketing. I like digital marketing as well. So I'm into that. That is what I do at work for now with Get for Less company. And I'm a Ghanaian. Hello to my Nigerians here in other African country. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I think it's my network. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that brief introduction. So let's just dive into what we have for today. So if you have any question for all of us here, please you can drop it in the chat or just raise your hand with an emoji and I'll call you to just ask your question. Okay, so my first question for today is let's just start softly because I know we have people that want to switch from another role to proper customer centric or customer facing role. So what was your journey like? I know you mentioned like all your role has been customer service. Was that by design? Was that what you wanted all along? You went to school and like, oh, when I graduate, I'm going to become a customer service person, or was that by chance? So we want to hear it all.
Not really. I didn't know myself to love. I'm very passionate about customer service, but I didn't know myself to love customer service that much before. But I think finding myself in that role, it was I feel every job has to do with customer service. That is my perspective. So even being a sales representative or any kind of job, anywhere you find yourself, you are communicating with a customer. So I see myself being in that aspect all this while. And I think is not something I'll say it's easy to be in, but it's something that is important for everyone to take customer service as a priority, because even if you are a doctor, if you find yourself to be in like a lawyer or anything, you are definitely communicating with a customer. Any client, even a pastor communicates with the members and he's offering that service. So every aspect that I find myself in, I see it as a customer service. And that is why I've seen how passionate I can be in, because if I have to communicate with just a friend, it's how I'm making a person feel, how I'm making a person loyal to me, being that loyal friend. So I've been in the cashier aspect, I've been in the, let's say, the front line and also the back end, all those aspects. So I think that has been me in customer service. And I like to talk about customer service. So.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us. That's really brilliant. So I think I like the fact that you said for you to be like a good customer centric professional, you really have to be passionate about it. Because if you're not passionate about it, at some point you're going to drop off or you're going to get burnt out. So while you want to transition into customer success, please understand that it's all about people and you need to understand people and you need to enjoy people and you need to just care about people. It was, I think, John Maxwell that said something like, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. All right, is you have to care for people first. Is when they care for you. Like when I come across people, I care genuinely for them first, and in turn they tend to like just come close to me. So it's like that in customer success, customer facing role. So you have to be passionate about what you do. If you're not passionate right now, just try to like, why do I want to do this, and just try to understand, and then get excited whenever you talk to customers. Okay. All right, thank you
And
so
I
much for
always
that. So let's
love
move on
that.
to our next question. And like I said, you can ask your question in the chat.
Hello?
Were you saying something?
Yes, I was just going to say something small
I
that
think that was my network.
one
So, okay, so
important
my
thing.
question again to Pascalina. Okay, please go ahead. My
Can you
network
hear
is
me?
lagging. Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, one important thing is to know how to empathize, because no matter the kind of personality you have, customers will always humble you. And we don't have a script for human emotions. Their emotions can change at any time. So you should know how to empathize with not just a customer, anyone. And that will help you when you even find yourself in such a field. If you know how to empathize with just a friend, just a family, a sister, a brother, you know how to dive into customer service easily when you find yourself in such a position. So empathizing with fellow human is very important, because you can't have a script of their emotions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for adding that. Yes, I totally agree with you. At the end of the day, empathy, you have to just understand from your customer's perspective, understand from your customer's angle. Okay, so the next question I want to ask you is, in your experience, how has language impacted customer loyalty or churn? In your experience, how has language, has there been a period or a time where you have to like go local, like you have to speak your local dialect so that the customer will understand and just like be on your side?
Yes, so it happens all the time. And funny enough, after you came up with this program and there was this topic about the language and everything, I went to work one time and I just saw a message that was, I think it was a Lebanese language or Arab. I was just laughing that, hi, Gloria, this one that you're putting me in this position. It's like I'm facing it already. Yes, you face that a lot, and it becomes sad when you can't attend to that customer in the particular language they are speaking. It becomes very poor when I cannot speak, let's say, Nigerian, you have your own language, and such a person really wants to make a purchase, but he doesn't know how to go around the English match or the dialect, and the person expects you to come to that level. And as a customer service representative, if you don't understand that language, and sometimes it's not just using AI, because the human touch even hits more than the AI. Yet getting to their emotions, getting to how like their values, their norms, and their cultures, you need to understand all those things. So it's very important. I once had this experience. I wasn't good in French, and someone just had to text a message, and because I do just basic French, my bosses were expecting that maybe I could attend to this customer first, and this is me trying to now Google, like trying to find the translation, and that is time. You can't also delay the customer, because there's another company that would also retain that particular customer just because of language. So it's very important to know a lot of language, especially where your business is being situated. And it's for my side, even my local dialect is not all. Sometimes customers call and we have this local language like Ga, and I'm not good, so I quickly have to shift it to somebody, a colleague who can speak that language. So it's also good to have some colleagues who can speak different languages, which can help you shift it to their agent fast and swift. If not, language becomes a barrier at that point, and you restrict the customer from purchasing something or his or her needs being met.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your
And
experience with us.
let me share this funny story. I once traveled to a country, and I needed to use the taxi. And it's like that country is all about Portuguese language, Spanish, like all those kind of things. French, and before you meet somebody, then they'll just say, "Bon dia," this. The only one you can say, you respond, and you don't even want to stand. Getting a car was difficult because I can't even speak the language. And for once, I got just one person who could speak English. I had to roam with the person the whole day, because if I switch, I won't get somebody to move around it. So it's very important. Any aspect you find yourself, not just customer selling product or service, anywhere, be it you are a driver, you're a lawyer, anything. I think language is important in all aspects, provided you deal with a customer. It's very important. Are you there, Gloria? Can you hear me? I think the network. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Pascalina.
Thank you. I think the network is worrying.
Thank you. Wait, can you confirm, is it my network or her network first? Because it says, I don't understand what's going on. I had to put off my camera because it was really frustrating. I wasn't hearing anything. Can you hear me?
Maybe I should.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, guys. Sorry to use guys. Sorry everyone. We have to leave our camera off for some minutes because I think it's better. You can hear us better once we are off camera, so that the reception will be better.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Pascalina, for sharing that with us. Yes, it's okay. I can hear you. Can you hear us now?
Yes, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here with us. Okay, so we're still going deeper, and as a CSM, it's so important that you understand languages. It's so important that you understand cultures, right? It's also important that you understand way of life, way of communication. Different people communicate differently. In my experience, when you are communicating with a Ghanaians are, I believe they are very easy and they abide by rules and regulations more than the Nigerians, or more than us, more than we do. Because in Nigeria, you can just be telling them, do this, do this. They'll go and do what is in their brain or in their mind first before coming back, and you have to like go back and forth. But Ghanaian, just tell them, this is what I want you to do, and they'll do that. And for the Kenyan, the few times I've been like in contact with them working, what I notice is you have to break every single thing down to detail. Like, don't give them, they are just, it's more like they are first native, like they're still getting to call to civilization kind of. So you have to like really explain and make everything easy, break complex jargons down for them to understand, and they'll, before, once you do that, you get their heart already. So as a CSM, please understand how all this matters, how you communicate with different people matters. There are things you will not say or do. If you're talking with a French person, the way you do your gestures should also be different, right? If you're talking to someone from, is it Finland? Yes. The way the head movement and all, they're all matters, right? So take note of this. And also my next question will be in line of, and this is because just to build on what we have said, you mentioned empathy the other time. Then you have to be passionate about customers. What other skills will you advise new people or people transitioning from other roles into customer success should develop? What do you think they should develop? What are the skill sets you believe will be important on the role for them?
Yes, I think, first of all, you need to learn how to stay calm under pressure, because customer service role comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of complaints, calls, people with expectations that you need to deliver to them. So you need to develop the how to stay calm, and also how to listen actively. Sometimes people just wait. They don't even wait for the customer to finish. Or maybe, example, I want to purchase this product. I want to use it for typing, just for typing and all that. Quickly, they just recommend. Listen to the person, take your time. After, you have to repeat to the customer what he or she is requesting for. That will help you know if you can tell the person the best one, because maybe he or she is just thinking about affordability, or I'm just using the laptop for typing, so anything basic. But before you realize that particular one, maybe it's an Intel Celeron or an i3 laptop, may not necessarily fix the problem he or she needs it for. So you need to listen to them actively, repeat the same question to them, and know how best you can solve or meet their needs. And also how to build good relationship. For a customer to trust your brand, for a customer to trust you as a customer service representative, know how to build a relationship, know how to communicate with them. You shouldn't get familiar. For instance, if this person is an already existing customer, people easily, those in that aspect, customer facing team, get very familiar with them because they feel they're already loyal. Getting familiar with them may trigger something. You may go informal at a point. Let's say in French, you meet somebody, you need to go the formal way. You've not met the person before, you have that relation, you need to go with monsieur or bonjour madame or mademoiselle, or hello and all that. But because you allow familiarity set in, this customer has been here before, oh, you see the person, oh, salut, which is so informal. So sometimes we need to know how to communicate and build that relationship with customers. You listen actively, you know how to build that relationship with customers, because it's a relationship that will retain them. Because everyone can give good price, everyone can be able to talk to the customer nice and all that, but it's how you build that relationship after they purchase your service or product, or before any of that. You still need to build that relationship and know how to retain a customer, know how to communicate with them. Your body posture and all, like Gloria, you were mentioning, is also very important.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So I love what you said about relationship. It's relationship that will keep customers. Yes. Not just your products. Everybody have good products. Everybody can build wallets. Everybody can build a fintech app. What keeps your product or your business going 5 years, 10 years is how you treat your customers. You have to take them personal. You have to build that personal relationship. Thank you so much for that. Yes, and Victoria, I think I made you a host and I sent you a message. So you're here with me today. All right, so let's go on. Do we have any question in the chat? Do we have any question before we move on? Any question, any question? Okay, so we don't have question at this time. All right, so my next question.
Well, I think there's one thing also. People hear that, oh, build relationship or be nice, be empathize with that customer. But sometimes they don't know how to keep being consistent with that relationship with their customers. They are nice today, and after some time, if they meet new customers, they tend to neglect or give more attention to the new customers. Is knowing how to balance it, building good relationships with both old and new customers. Yes, not just existing one or your loyal ones, but the new ones as well. Because you can't just stick to the customers you have now. You will need more. You want to expand to worldwide and all that. So you need to know how to retain them and how to balance keeping the relationship with both old and new customers. Okay, I'm done.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. No, it's fine. I think I love what you are bringing out. Yes, so I totally like what you said there, because if you don't, and that's why it's so important as a CSM, you need to have a solid onboarding plan on your deck. Like your onboarding plan has to be as seamless as possible so that you'll be able to integrate new customers into the system, and not just, oh, welcome, KYC and all those things. They need to feel a human touch at every point, at every touch point, right? So it's so important. Please note that down. There is a question in the chat from Tolu. Okay, I want to ask Gloria, you have been in the CS line for over 10 years. How have you stayed consistent in that line? How was it? How was the industry when you joined? What changed along the line? Like what innovation came up along the line, and how have you stayed relevant? Just the way AI is now relevant. I don't know if you understand me. Okay, I'm going to throw the question at Pascalina first. Pascalina, do you understand the question? It's
I
like
think I
two,
do.
three questions.
I
Yes,
think I
two, three question in one. So yes, you help us to answer, then I'll probably say one or two things at the end.
I think years back I was into this business administration job, but at the same time I was doing field work as well when I had to get customers on board, communicate with customers. And initially it was just like a word of mouth. At first it was just a verbal way of communicating with customers, engaging with them. But along the line, technology is advancing. And if a customer, for instance, calls and talks about their issue, you would have to have that data down. Initially, we would just have that verbal conversation, but if you are not there and this same customer calls again, like MTN, and speaks to a different agent, the agent needs to have access to that data to best help that customer. It's not now that that different agent is going to ask questions all over again that, oh, you called earlier, so what was the issue? My colleague is not around. I think you spoke to my colleague. So now is more of tech as well.
Hello, Pascalina, we can't hear you again. Are you there, or is it my network? Can someone confirm? Please, can you confirm if you can hear me?
We can hear you, but I think she left. Our network, I think our network is bad.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me just try to answer the question while we wait for her to come and continue. So yes, like I said, customer success, when people say they have over 20 years experience in customer success, 25, 35, it's not like, oh, it has been called customer success all along, right? Along the way, it was a customer facing role. Like you'll be doing customer care representative, customer service representative, and customer technical support, customer support, then customer relationship manager down. So that is what the cumulative, since it's customer facing, then you say it's customer success because along the way you were able to improve upon your processes and your frameworks, right? So yeah, to answer the first one is how have you been able to stay consistent in that line? For me, my story is actually very different because I don't really work the way other people do. At every point in time, I think this is the first time I'm going to say this here. At every point in time, I've always worked like having two jobs. I don't work like, oh, Gloria. And that's why sometimes my experience would look as if it's so massive because I don't just do one thing at a go. Yes, I was doing customer service at a point, then I was doing other things, right? So, and that has like helped me to stay consistent because I focus all my energy on both. So you can probably have a side hustle or some other things you're passionate about, but then how have I been able to stay consistent? The one for me is the why I started. So I did microbiology undergraduate, right? It was microbiology, but once I graduated and I didn't see like a job that fits, the first job I got was a customer service role. Right, it was a customer service role. And I'm like, okay, since I like people, I enjoy people, why not do it? And the pay was not bad for an entry role, right? So that's how I started. And over time I became to like, okay, I was promoted like 2, 3 times on the same job. And like, okay, if this is happening, then I have a gift or some sort of superpower in this area, and that is why I stayed, because at every point in time I get promoted, I get accolades and all. Okay, so how do you know you are good at something? When people start talking about you, like, oh, Gloria, well done, you did it well, right? So just that is how you know that you're good at something. And if you're good at something, something that comes natural to you, then you should stick to it, right? Something that doesn't feel like, well, when I work with people, it doesn't feel like work for me. It's just like me trying to help people, and I enjoy teaching and helping people majorly, right? How was the industry when I joined? Oh, the industry was just industry, right? Because we didn't have tools. It was days of Excel. I have to write all my customers' data on what's it called? Microsoft Word. Yes, it wasn't like Google. It wasn't Google. It was Microsoft Word I was using then. Every data was written on Microsoft Word, and if there are days that it wasn't written on using Microsoft Word, it was written on paper. We used to have this bulk of paper, A4 paper, yes, in the office that you have to use. We have files for each customer, so it was a lot of work. It was bulky and draining. So it wasn't like there were no tools. Then later that we got tools were just like rudimentary kind of tool. So it was still you still have to manually input all those data. If a customer make payments, if somebody is late on their payments, you still have to input them to know that, oh, this is what's going on. So it was still more like analog, right? It's not like now that where you can just monitor from end to end, right? From the field, you know that this customer has made payments, you can just track progress and all. It wasn't really like that. So innovation was just very slow there, right? And my company couldn't afford most of those things when it started coming in. So we have to make use of what we had, right? Yes. So that is how it works. And we just have to like improve our processes and deliver on results. You don't For me, what has worked for me is I don't complain so much. If there's a problem, I'm solving it. And that's how you get recognition, right? If there's a problem, a world or a company-wide problem, make sure you're the one solving it. So when you solve one or two problems, when there is an angry customer, don't be the one to shy away from that. Make sure you are there to, even though you're not able to solve that problem, try as much as possible to like, okay, calm the customer down or do something about the situation, or be the one that like there should be a process, like you bring a process like, okay, if we do this ABC is going to work, right? So always that's one thing that is going to, okay, Pascalenia is back. Yes, okay.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I don't know. I think my network.
Okay, yeah, so you were saying something before you left.
Yes. So like I was saying, just like what you were saying now, it was more of the voice-based, not really digital. And also the support, the customer support, we had limit to the hours of supporting customers, but now it's more of 24/7, the digital era.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to find an information from a particular company, you have that digital customer service that can attend to you. And also they have taken social media into consideration now. Everything is social media now. So attending to customers and being active on their social media platforms. Initially, they were not much about social media. There was no hype about that. It was just the physical interaction. But now there's more focus on the social media aspect, where a lot of remote jobs, like customer service role for their social media platforms, which is very high now. That is when they know they can attend to customers globally. If you don't put yourself out there to social media, every business, you put yourself out there to attract new customers in the global world, not just within where you are. So now it's more of technology than digital era type.
Absolutely. Yes, true to that.
And I think the multilingual support as well. Now everyone is finding ways and means to have that kind of software to be able to attend to customers in various languages. And we can see what Jumia is doing now. They started in a short period, and somewhere I think 2020, 2012, but they have the largest e-commerce platform now in Africa. And that is how customer service is growing now. It's going into more of the tech digital era compared to first, which was just the human physical communication stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, and I totally endorse what you said. Before now, customer service. It was just customer service, and it was 9 to 5. It wasn't it wasn't around the clock. It was 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I go to the office around 9 and come back, leave the office around 5, like every other person, and that's it till the next day. Whatever happens to your customer, they're going to be fine. So that, and that is, it's not like now customers are more like kings. That's why we chant that word. Now, any small thing, customer is carrying you to Twitter, right? It's
Yes.
carrying you to X. You are seeing your name, your company's name on X. So it's not like that. The world wasn't as digitalized as it is there now. So that really helped us. So you can just do so many things, and customers will have to come to you most times. For me, while I was working at the microfinance, customers will have to come to me. It was when I wanted to scale and get promoted. I'm not like, okay, just do my rounds. Sometimes I walk around, go to different branches for uh once a month, just see how the customers are doing, hear their complaints, what they are doing right, what they need, and all that. So if you want to scale, if you want to scale or get promoted, you should also learn how to, like, what can you do to get that, to just get ahead of all other person. And one thing I tell people that want to stay relevant, one of the questions is, say, how have you stayed relevant? To stay relevant either at your job or at whatever role or in the industry, you have to bring value to the table. It's all about value at the end of the day. And when you're bringing value, let people know that you are bringing value. And one thing I tell my mentees sometimes is, what gets you hired will not get you promoted. That job you are doing, they already are paying you for that already. So for you to get promoted, you need to do other things. For me, while I was working at the microfinance and when I went to other places, I had to learn other things. I'm very smart on my feet. Like, before you know it, I can provide solutions. So you have to be a solution provider. And one thing that helped me, a typical example is me being able to present. Like, I can do Google slide and do that. So my program manager then will always call me, Gloria, come and do this, yeah, and they want me to come and present between the stakeholders, right? They're like, oh, come. If I want to do any graph, any bar charts and all those things, I'm the one they'll call on, right? So you need to have something, your edge, no matter how small it is, you need to have an edge over other people, no matter how small, and make sure everybody knows about that. So that would be what to get you promoted, not what you are doing. Most people focus on customer support or customer success. They are already paying you for that. For you to get promoted or make more, you need to bring more to the table. And for you to stay relevant, you need to keep learning. That is one thing I do. I pay for services, I pay for trainings, and for the free ones as well. If there's anything coming to the industry, trends and all, I am on top of it, right? You're not, if you're my mentee, I'll tell you, you're not in competition with anybody. You're not competing with anyone at all. The only competition is yourself. Don't look at any other person. If they are doing great, well, congratulations. But you are the goal. So always drive yourself. Be the driver of your own of your career. All right. So that's what I'll say to that. Do we have more
I
questions?
like your statement. What get you hired won't get you promoted.
Absolutely.
Because as a
Yes.
customer service rep now, initially people just, even now, people still think that customer service is all about hello, talking to the customer or just replying message. But now there's a lot to customer service and people don't want to find themselves. Someone can just look at me that, for me, I can't be a customer service representative. But initially people saw it to be something that you just talk to a customer or just find solution. Now it's not just about solving a problem for a customer, is about the customer experience, the experience you are giving to that customer. It's not just solving a
Yes.
problem. So yeah, it entails a lot, and we need to keep learning and staying updated. And sometimes you would have to just take a course. You can't wait for your boss to put you into a course or training, or you would have to invest in yourself. Like I think Nana said it yesterday, have your own career
Yeah.
plan and all that. Yes.
Yeah. True, 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 true. Yes, yes, absolutely. And I think this conversation today is more intimate. So please, if you have any question, just drop it in the chat. I may not upload this because we are just having this more like a gift to all of us here so that we'll learn and just improve upon that. Okay. All right, all right. So let's move ahead to our next question. There's something I wanted to say, but I can't remember. So when I remember, we'll come back to that. All right. Okay. Okay, have you ever, so this question is for Pascalina now. Have you ever encountered a difficult customer and how were you able to handle, manage, or de-escalate the situation?
Hmm. But that it's not even about have you ever, it's always every day. Within a day,
Right?
you would have a number of customers and you definitely have a difficult one. Um, just yes, I think today I went to the office before coming home, and there was this customer that was so angry because she requested for something, and she told us what she wanted, and that was the exact thing the person received, was delivered. But this is the case, it got to the person's location, and she said, no, that was not what I meant. So it's like, in a way, you had to even understand the person, what she was thinking in her head. Meanwhile, we couldn't have understood. You just said you want maybe a bottom dispenser, this, and you brought you a dispenser. We get to your location now, and you are so upset that that was not what you meant. Why don't you know what you want and all that? All these customers, they'll keep coming at you with all harsh words. But like I said earlier, customers will always humble you. You just
Yeah.
had to come to the level. I had to come to the level for this customer. Even when my manager was not ready to come to that level, at this point, I had to stand in for the customer. I had to fight for the customer because we want to retain this person. No matter what, you don't know the kind of word of mouth she is going to give to somebody, even if it was her fault. So we had to now take the cost again to bring it back and deliver something else that will make her comfortable, even though it was time wasting and the fuel and all that. But this is a customer. They say customers are always right. Not all that right, but you need them. You need to retain them. So even if it's their fault, you just have to find a nice way. I had to find a nice way today to tell her, no, this was what you actually said. This is the chat, but no problem. I think we can still do something about it. So that brings us back to patience and empathy and all that. So difficult customers always come, but it's just about how you communicate and handle and how you have to stand in, even if your bosses are not giving out that kind of quality customer service. That is why you are being hired in that position. Sometimes my bosses may not be the best in customer service, but at the end of the day, they don't care. That is why you are there. So whatever mess that is being created, you clean the mess. So it always comes to mind that I need to clean the mess. I need to put myself, my emotions and everything down when it comes to difficult customers and just serve them right.
Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. I like what you mentioned that we can't do without difficult customers. Difficult customers are always there, always. Maybe not every day, but you definitely encounter them at one time or the other. So you're always prepared for them and have your arsenal, have ways of resolving their problems in your head before it even happens. And you need to, you mentioned that you need to learn how to stay calm, something like that. So you need to like
Yes.
be in charge of your own emotions first.
Yes.
And I don't hire on my team people that are not emotionally intelligent. I can't hire you no matter what, no matter how good or technical you are. If you don't have that EI, I'm not going to hire, because what we do at CSM is majorly EI. People will tell you soft skills and all those things, but then if you don't have EI, then you probably won't be able to manage. All right. So thank you so much for mentioning that. There was something I wanted to say, but it skips my mind. Yeah, I do. I have that a lot. But yeah, I'll try to remember before we go. For those that are going to be my student, yes, how you handle yourself really matters, right? How you handle and conduct yourself. When they are looking for people to promote, when they are looking for people to hire, is how you conduct yourself. People will just tend to like, oh, I'm going to do this for the customer, I'm going to do that for the customer. It's how you manage yourself. Because if I'm going to hire anybody, is how are you able to comport yourself? How do you carry yourself? How do you see yourself? That is the way you'll be able to how you see yourself is how you carry customers. all customers are not going to be your friend, but all customers are not your enemy, or neither are they your friends, but you need to, if they get you angry, how do you manage that relationship? Because because you get maybe customer did something and you're angry, are you not going to stop talking to the customer? That is a paying customer. You don't have, you can't do anything about that. So you need to learn how to manage yourself. All right. How to manage yourself is so important as a CSM. And also document. When you are talking to your customers, always have your documents in place. And I like the fact that we are in a digital world now where every conversation with AI, you can have that recorded. Or is it Ota AI can do that for you for free? So you don't have to, in case a customer will say, oh, Gloria, this is not what I say. I'm like, okay, see this paper here, see this recording here. This is exactly what you said. But then you can't hold your customers to that sometimes. You just have to like be able to use responsive communication. Responsive communication is you being try to like repeat whatever a customer say to that person. Like, okay, do you mean this? Or am I getting you correctly? Then you now go, don't just carry yourself and just go and solve. Sometimes it's not like that. It's not what she mentioned that it's not. Sometimes a customer was complaining about something. That's not the problem, or that's what they can actually say at that point. So you need to understand, like, okay, what is this customer saying? Then from there you'll be able to solve it. Don't jump to like solving. Sometimes you have to call them over for like, okay, we just received a complaint from you that you're having so. Please describe the problem you're having with me. And also try to go the extra mile if you want to get promoted or make money in customer success. Because I tell you for free, there are people in customer success that their salary don't increase more than 20%. Why other people are having 100, 200% increase, right? It's how all these little things, little things, going the extra mile for the company and for the organization, for the company and the customers. Let them know that, oh, at the end of the day, you've got them, right? That you're not always in as much as of course you're going to leave, but then don't make it obvious that, oh, I don't care about this company, by tomorrow or by next year I'm out of here. No, so far you are there. Everything you do should be about your interest should be about the company, all right, no matter how it is. All right, I think our time is fast spent, but I'll ask my last question, then I'll throw it to the house if anybody have like any question they want to ask again. Okay, so this is more like a practical question right now. What have you experienced? I know you've been in the CS space for a long time. Have there been a situation of being burnt out and all, and how were you able to deal? Pascalina, did you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay, yes. I said, did you hear what the question I asked?
No, please, can you come again?
Okay. So, as customer support, customer service, customer success people, we interact with a lot of people and just carry other people's problem. Have there been a time where you experienced burnt out, and what did you do to come back to be better or to get back to normal?
Yes, not all customers interactions are mostly pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes there has been situations where I get tired. It's like, I don't even want to be in the customer service space anymore because it's too stressful. Your mental health, the kind of complaints within a day, the kind of personalities you would have to talk to both on phone, by emails, the kind of donations and all that you get from these customers. Of course, you are human. You are human, you get what went out with all these kind of back and forth with customers, but you need to know why you are there. You need to know why you are in the put before you even put yourself in that position. You've already putting it in your mind that you are there to empathize. You are not there to take things personal. One thing that is important is you don't have to take what the customers are saying personal. The stress alone, sometimes you need to calm down before you can get back to that customer. After the customer speaks, allow them to speak. Don't interject, even if it's irritating you and all that. Just allow them flow. Take a deep breath, because sometimes it can be too much that you wish you can respond. You can also give back to the customer, but you just need to take a deep breath and remind yourself, you can also write them down. Sometimes I have my sticky notes on my desk with that kind of positive affirmations to help me to calm down when this customer is trying to imitate me. You look at your affirmations, you know why you are there, you know what you want to achieve, you know why you were employed, the kind of value you want to give. You are not there to be so personal with the kind of words or kind of action they are getting from customers. So it's all about knowing why you are there, having some positive affirmations, and yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, I totally agree with you. And what will I even add? I think you said it all. You said it all. So for you to not get burnt out, another thing that make customer success, customer facing people get burnt out is the workload, right? Aside for you interfacing with customers, there were times I was working from during that COVID period. I was working. The only time we sleep or I slept was around 4 hours. That is when I was able to sleep because everybody were home, people were home, and they had time to like just use our product. So we'll be immediately we wake up in the morning, we'll start working. And when you want to eat, maybe around 12, you like just quickly go and eat, then you rush back because customers are complaining. Customers, you just have to attend to them, and you just swallow things and you're back to work and like that. And before you sleep at night, sometimes at 12, you're still up around 1 to like, okay, let me just attend to the last ticket. And that is when you now go to bed. Like I did that for like 2, 3 months and it was crazy. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh God, why am I working? When I stopped having joy in what I was doing, right? So that was like one of the major things that affected me then, and I had to slow down. I spoke with some of my colleague and also my departmental head at that point, like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to just, because it was really affecting me. But as you're waking up is work. And as you're sleeping, you're carrying work on your head. And sometimes that period, I was sleeping with my laptop, right? I will sleep with the laptop because you're working like, let me respond to the last ticket from the customer. So as a CSM, just know what works for you, understand your body, understand some people can't do without interacting with other people. Some people, for me, sometimes when I'm working, when I'm really busy, after work, I work at a stretch. Sometimes I do 5 hours at a stretch, then just take like 1 hour off, 30 minutes off. Sometimes I just binge watch movies that I don't even care about or any comedy. That does it for me. So please understand your body as you're coming to customer success. Know what works for you. Is it movies? Is it your family? Is it talking to people? Is it just walking around? And these days, if I don't go to the gym or just try to do some form of exercise, I won't be able to like function properly because especially when you do lots of work, when you are like time blocking a lot, you just need to like take off your mind off that. So I think it's very important for us as CSM. All right. Do we have any question? Before we go? And I want a last word for most of the people here are transitioning to customer success. What is the one advice you give to them?
I think this multilingualism is important because I read this article, especially we the Africans. I read this article from Adrian Hernandez, and it was about like the list of top 10 call centers countries in the world. And to my surprise, that I think the only African country you would see there was South Africa, which was a SIP. It was all different countries, and the first country that even surprised me most was Philippines. Philippines being on the first, and after that article, I decided to check again to see another search if I will see more African, and I was seeing still South African and more of other international countries. And I think we Africans need to take this multilingualism very serious if we want to go to the global world. And we personal, as a customer service representative, if you want to find yourself out there with a lot of remote jobs and a lot of opportunities, these kind of companies also go out there to search for countries where they have good customer service representatives. That is where they hire people from for remote jobs, and even where they try to build their business. So we need to take it serious with knowing language, and also not just the language, learning norms and the kind of traditions of people. When you are working within, let's say I'm in Ghana, I need to know the kind of values, tradition with some languages. We have different kind of language. You need to learn all those things. It helps. And it helps to get to a different level if you want to upgrade yourself, even for your personal business or even working with somebody.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. That is so true. That is so true. And for me, my last word is a customer who feels seen and heard in their mother's tongue is always halfway loyal. So, in Nigeria, there's this thing we talk about when it comes to the Hausa people. Once you speak one small Hausa to them, you've gotten them. They will probably, something they will sell maybe like 1,000 naira, they'll bring it down to like 500 or 600 naira. So it's the same thing with all other customers. So try as much as possible to learn other languages. I am in the process. So as you're coming in, if you want to be a high value CSM, please try to learn others as well. That will help you to like get integrated faster into the space. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you,
No, I
Pascalina,
have a
for
question. I have a question.
who is
I have a
that?
question.
Pauline. Okay.
I have a question. Please, I want to ask you, I'm not a talk person. I prefer writing to talking and all of that. But I really like customer success rules. I really like them in the sense that I love solving people's problem and all of that. But basically, I prefer emailing stuff, as in maybe replying them via emailing, chats, WhatsApp, and all of that. So I don't know if must I be able to talk to, as in talk to them as in on phone. Like sometimes I feel so shy. I just prefer, like, I can easily write than I talk. You get. So I don't know.
I think that is also a strength you have, because now most companies are looking for remote positions, jobs to give to back end people. And there's also an opportunity. It's not necessarily having to be in the limelight where you have to talk to customers face to face. If you're okay with the online replying messages and documenting stuff and all that, it's also a good strength you have. So you're still in the customer service role. You can leverage on that and still be that good customer service representative. Companies are looking for a lot of back-end support representatives. So it's not just being the front line.
It works for customer success role too. Does it work for customer success role?
Yes, it
Does
does.
it
You are saying
work for customer success? Please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
hello?
Yeah, hello.
I said, does it work for customer success role too? Like replying by emailing or must I talk to? She answered me based on the customer service representative role.
Okay, I get that. Does it work? Do you want to remain the way you are for the rest of your life? Let's start from there. If no, then everybody can improve and change. If I don't tell people that I'm an introvert, because if you met me secondary school, university, you'll you will never ever say that Gloria can talk on a stage, right? So nobody is born knowing how to talk. We became like that because of our environment. We became like that because of our experiences, and that's not who you are. That's not who we are. The ultimate person, or the you are, or the ultimate you, is that person you carved out for yourself. What am I carving out for Gloria? That is the person Gloria is, not what is defined by my. And sometimes, because of biases and all, we will never know that this is the kind of person you're supposed to be, right? Because some of us will just wake up and like, oh, that's how I am. I'm an introvert. I don't like talking. Nobody likes. We don't like. I don't like talking to people over. I don't like phones. If my students are here, they can tell you I don't do calls, right? But then it's my job. So why am I saying this for you? Of course, you can start at a level where you don't have to speak to customer face to face, or even going out to meet customers, because there are times I have to go out to meet customers, have conversation with them just to see where they are, what I need to give them and all. Yeah, you grow into that space. But there are other roles where you have to start, where most of the things you do is back end, where you converse, your conversation with them is via email, via phone calls and all. But I wouldn't want you to remain at that level. That's not what I want from people or my students. Don't remain at that level. All right. So yes, you can get roles like that, but I don't want you to remain at that level. Improve upon yourself every single day. Every single day. Let the person we saw last year, don't bring the same excuse to today. Right? All right, Pauline, do you get me? So yes, you can get, the answer is yes. Of course, you can get customer success role where all you do is emails, phone calls, and all. But there's a higher place, and that is you being able to own yourself. Your future self will thank you for it. All right. So please,
Yeah,
does that
thank
answer your
you.
question, ma'am?
Yeah,
All right,
thank
all
you.
right. Thank you everyone for joining us today. That's all we can have for today. Have an amazing evening and amazing weekend, by the way. And we continue on Monday and Tuesday. We are bringing, like, we have 4 more people to bring. So Ajoke, Obed, Oti, and one other person I can't remember. So please do well to join the conversation again, and make sure you post about this, contact or connect with Pascalina on LinkedIn. She shares insightful content on LinkedIn as well. So please follow, connect, and just ask questions as well. Thank you so much, Pascalina, for joining us today. It was an insightful conversation. See you next time, and hopefully we'll work together again.
Thank you, Gloria, for this opportunity. Thank you so much. I really appreciate for you reaching out to me to join and also learning. I've learned from the other speakers as well. And I hope to learn more as well on Monday and Tuesday. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you so much. And I think that's all we have for the. If you are my student, I think you should learn how to introduce yourself. We're going to talk about that in my class. So if you're my student here, if you are paid, please remind me during this session. One thing that people will also notice when you're talking is how you introduce yourself. Don't introduce yourself vaguely. Any opportunity you get to introduce yourself, come correct, come with authority, come with like confidently that you know yourself. Don't do as if I'm not sure. All right, you need to introduce your values. You need to be able, there's a sequence. All right, so we'll get to do that probably in the next class. Okay. All right. Thank you and have an amazing evening. Victoria, please, can you give me, or you can stop recording so we can close the conversation. Thank you, Musa. Have a great weekend. Janet, have a wonderful weekend and make a post as well. I don't think I've seen your post before. I've seen from Tolu. Hi, Emmanuel. Is this your first time in
All right,
class
Julia,
or
thank you.
in this?
Wonderful.
Thank you.